Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are Rumble Pop Live. Technical difficulties. That's what we're going to change our name of our show to. It's no longer going to be Rumble Pop Live. It's just going to be called Technical Difficulties because we have them all the time. It's wonderful. It's my favorite part of my day. This is why I look forward to Mondays so much. I call Kevin and I was like, hey, do you think maybe we'll have some technical difficulties? And Kevin's like, I don't know, but I sure hope so. And, not to let anybody down, we did. So there you go. I hope you enjoy all the technical difficulties we've had and are about to have, because I'm sure there's plenty. I am sure. So with that, I'm going to do some stuff in the background, probably a lot of crying. And Kevin's going to introduce, and we'll get started, guys.
A shout down to those Spectrum goblins. They're giving us internet tech issues this evening. But good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you in the 24 time zones on planet Earth. Welcome to the villainous, but always fondly decrepit show on YouTube, Rumble Pop. And now I'm going to introduce to you my co-host and co-conspirators. First, a madman, a sad man this evening, but still a happy man, a man who enjoying a delicious cup of root beer, who is originally from Ohio. He's a man that's DC Comics for life. If you have a problem with it, he will pop you in the mouth. And in a night like this, he might just break your head with a bat. He is a man who was a 2022 North Hollywood Man of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a man that the ladies love, that they just can't get enough of. He is the original Dom.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. It's okay. Thank you very much. No more. Come on, guys. Come on. Okay, let's stop. Okay.
Next, a fine.
Oh my God! Wow. What is happening, guys? Just no more. None.
This is too much.
No more.
Too much.
No more. Okay, no more.
Next, a talented young lady.
Oh! I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed, guys.
This is very, very embarrassing. This is not right.
I'm embarrassed. Okay, seriously, people, stop. Okay.
A talented young lady from the great state of Maine, a state that has produced fine people like Stephen King and Judd Nelson. She is a fan of the Guatemalan heartthrob Oscar Isaac. She is a powerful ink drawing artist, and she hosts a podcast with her sister called Yesterday, Tomorrow, and Fantasy. Please give it up for someone who has been on our show many times this great year of 2023. She is the tranquil, the tender, and tantalizing Miss Tracy Lou.
Nice.
And of course, I am your humble servant, your humble podcaster, the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, your Supreme Chancellor, Brother Kevin. Tonight, as we approach the end of the year and as we get deeper into the holiday season,
so deep.
What topic is something that would be great for a discussion this evening? Why not discuss some of our favorite holiday movie villains?
I'm down. I could do that. Mm-hmm. I think that's an excellent topic and one that I would love to dive into. Oh, shut up, Sammy. One that I would love to dive into
Spectrum
in a little
Internet.
bit. But first, I want to talk about, we get Splattered Frog, one of our sponsors. Go to splatteredfrog.com, type in coupon code SHORTBOX, save 20% off your order. Now they have wonderful koozies and glasses and hats and shirts and things like this. They're just a wonderful company. Also, Half's Hot Sauce. Go to Half's Hot Sauce, that's HAFFS, hotsauce.com. Type in the coupon code Donald Hiccups. Get some wonderful killer pickle hot sauce. It is hot, guys. Get some pineapple hot sauce. It's delightful. And if you really want to test your taste buds when it comes to heat, how about some Hot Tropic? and more, available on halfshotsauce.com. Grab them while you can. They make excellent Christmas gifts. I remember when I was a young lad and Santa would put hot sauce under my gums, like right under my lip here. He would do it at every Christmas Eve, and I'd wake up, my mouth would be on fire. And then I would hear a ha ha ha. It wasn't a ho ho ho. It was a ha ha ha. Santa was an asshole when I was a kid. So, a lot of socks and hot sauce under my gums. Not very nice. Not very nice, Santa. Mom and Dad are here. Oh, I'm in trouble.
Hello.
Speaking of which,
Hi,
everybody.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, thank you. Hi,
Hello.
Mom and Dad. They say, boy, do you look big on our 65-inch TV, LOL. Oh, they're bragging. They're bragging. They got a new TV.
Is it 4K or 8K?
How's the size of my head, by the way? My ginormous.
A Godzilla head.
Right, I'm like Godzilla. Speaking of which, I saw -1 last night, and it is delightful. So if you do get a chance to see Godzilla -1 and you don't mind reading subtitles, it is well worth it. I recommend it. A lot of fun. And speaking of recommendations, perhaps I should do a little pulling out. Oh, yes. A little story time, huh? Perhaps we're going to talk about some things. Maybe some fun things. Maybe some things that you didn't know were fun. That, could bring joy to your heart. Possibly. I don't know. It's possible. Aw. Yeah. Now we're getting in the spirit here. I think we're going to talk about a few comics involving Christmas. Let's talk about those comics. Now I'm going to turn this down just a bit so I don't make my parents deaf. And all my friends. Yeah, it's going to just keep getting louder. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I've got that fixed. Anyway. We'll start out with a lovely tale called Batman Santa Claus Silent Night. Doesn't this just look wonderful? Doesn't it just look wonderful? It's not. It's okay. The basic premise of this story is that there's like these demons, bat demons or something, attacking Gotham, and Santa Claus shows up on Prancer, I think, because for some reason every writer is now obsessed with Prancer. Santa has to be on Prancer, so I don't understand why, but he just does. He just does. He has to be on Prancer every time, all the time. It sounds perverse, but it's true. So basically, they team up with Santa to fight these demon-like things, and that's where we're at. It ends with them finding out that there's another mischievous spirit involved in the issues of this issue. I would give it probably a 6 out of 10. It's not great. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's, if you want Christmas time good feels, maybe pick it up. Next one we're going to go to is Hellboy Winter Special, guys. The Hellboy Winter Special. This song is just killing me. There. The Hellboy Winter Special. Okay? This is basically Hellboy goes to this small town. I think it's in Norway or something. And there's this cat monster that's there that will attack people that do bad deeds. And Hellboy ends up trying to stop him in typical Hellboy fashion. I don't know if there's really any Hellboy story that I've read that I'm like, that's really amazing. They've all been like, well, I dig the art and I like the concept, but the story's a little weak. And I feel the same way with this one. So this one's probably going to get same thing, probably a 6 out of 10. Nothing spectacular, but it does have that little holiday feel. So that's nice. And then we go to my favorite of the night, and that would be the Creepshow Holiday Special. This one has 2 frightfully darling tales of delight and horror. And the first one is of a little girl and Christmas Man which I believe that's Christmas Man. And the second story is my favorite one. It's about package thieves at Christmas time. They come up on your porch and steal your packages. That's a good one. So if you get a chance, man, this is fun on a bun. I would say 9 out of 10 on this one. I highly recommend it. Grab it if you can. It's a hoot. It's a real hoot. It's a real hoot, Clark. Real hoot. And then last but not least, because I didn't realize I was going to read Christmas-themed books this whole time, Thunderbolts #1. Hey, you got the Red Skull in there, so that's Christmas colors, right? And, the Red Guardian. It's basically the Thunderbolts that Contessa V, whatever her name is, helps Winter Soldier reform the Thunderbolts, and they are on the hunt to kill the Red Skull, not stop him. They want to kill him. And the first issue, it's not bad. It's not bad. Again, not amazing, but not bad. Probably 6.5 out of 10 on this one. So give it a shot if you got a little extra money. It is a $5 comic, so they're not cheap. And that's it. And I've successfully pulled out. Sometimes I'll pull out even when no one's around. Think about that.
By the way, how's that root beer?
Oh, the root beer is great. It's a Virgil's.
Oh.
And the hot tea is delightful. I'm going to start drinking this more, though, because the ice is melting slower than the tea is getting colder.
Ah.
Yeah, the tea is getting much colder faster than the ice is melting in the root beer. So I'm going to drink the tea for now. I think that's where we're at. So let's talk some villains, guys. Some Christmas villains. I'm going to put this up on here so everybody knows what we're talking about. And we're not ranking them or anything. We're just discussing them. And if anybody wants to bring up in the chat a Christmas villain and they want us to talk about it, we're happy to do it. I think it'd be a fun time. This is just kind of an open chat, an open discussion about Christmas villains. Now, we do have a list. Don't get us wrong. We do have a list. And there were some that we just didn't put on the list. In some that I feel bear mentioning. I would say one of my favorite Christmas films is Serendipity. It's a John Cusack classic where him and that chick that hunts werewolves go together, and they meet and kind of kismet gets in there. It's a serendipitous type of a scenario. I would say the real villain of Serendipity, though, however, is chance, is serendipity itself. The fact that they almost reconnect and keep not reconnecting in very bizarre and peculiar ways just tells me that karma is out to get them, and that's the true villain of the story. So nobody else really is a villain in it, just timing. And I think that's a horrible thing. Horrible thing. What kind of a tea? It's a winter tea. It's a Trader Joe's winter blend, which has cinnamon and I think a hint of cardamom in there, and maybe clove. It's pretty good. It's a black tea. There's some caffeine. I'm going to get crazy, guys. I'll be up at least till 11. No, I'll be up much later than that, actually.
2 in the morning.
Usually I try to cap it at 2, yeah. Because I have trouble just getting to bed. I would stay up all night if I could. If I could.
If you could.
Right. And Kate Beckinsale, you jerk, is what Sammy says. Yeah, the lady that hunts the werewolves. I just said that. Jesus. What's her problem? God. Cranky, huh? Somebody's cranky. Somebody didn't take their relaxation pills. But yeah.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to talk about villains. What's one maybe that you guys we didn't talk about or put on a list or something that now that you're thinking about it, you're like, you know what? Yeah, that is kind of a villainous thing. Did either one of you have anything like that? Tracy, Kevin?
No. I always forget that there are Christmas villains. Like, I don't know. I feel as though they're not I don't know. Like, they're not in the forefront of my mind all the time.
How come?
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think it's because I feel like I watch really like wholesome Christmas movies. So I think that's why.
So you mean to tell me you haven't watched Silent Night, Deadly Night?
No.
Part
Like I've
two,
never seen Black Christmas.
Garbage Day.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
one of the favorites. California Music Box. Hello.
What's up, Andres?
And Frank says, Scut Farkus is a Christmas villain. Scut
Yes, and
Farkus.
yeah. Remember from Christmas Story?
Oh, the little
It,
guy that looks like he's a 1920s
it,
bruiser or some shit.
yeah, it's in the what you call it. I sent you it's in that list I sent you or photos I
Oh,
sent you.
oh, we do have a photo of it. Okay, well, let me bring it
Yep.
up. Let's just talk about Scut then, since Frank brought it up.
Is that the older guy? The older kid, right? In
No, no,
the
yeah. I
raccoon
think it's like
hat?
the older kid. It's kind of like blondish hair. He
Yeah.
picks he picks
Oh,
on he picks on the
okay,
kid.
the guy with the Davy Crockett hat, basically.
Yeah.
I remember this guy, this little asshole. I remember
Right?
him. I
I just
remember
saw this movie
Scott.
the other day,
Oh,
and
you
he
did?
like gets his ass kicked. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, he really does. Unpopular opinion. I don't think this movie is good. I've never really liked it, and I tried to rewatch it last Christmas, and I was like, I really don't care. Like, it's just something. I think it is the quintessential put it on and play it in the background Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to sit there and watch the whole thing all the way through. You don't want to do it. So for me,
Yeah.
it's just, kind of not that great. And Big Sal's in the house. He says, "Hello, puppet. You just saw it, Tracy.
Just saw what?
The Christmas story or whatever it is."
I mean, not for the first time.
And Sal says, "I'm crazy because it's a classic." Yeah, it's a classic film that you play in the background, buddy. Nobody's sitting
Yeah.
down to watch this all the way through. Nobody cares.
Okay, I see where you're going with this, Donald. Basically, if you're going shopping at a shopping mall and it's like on the TV screen, you're in a Macy's or something like that, and it's playing in the background. That's what it's good for. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're freaking cooking ham or whatever the hell you cook for Christmas dinner, and you just want noise in the background instead of like Christmas music. You turn on the TV, and I guarantee you these assholes are in it, and they're on the TV, and they're doing stupid shit, and you can hear them, and you just hear that voiceover of the guy, and nobody cares the entire time. Nobody cares. So for me, it's
I feel
just
like I agree, Donald, because it's one of those where there's really good scenes, but like as a whole, it's not good. But like there's really good scenes in it, but the whole thing is like, yeah, background movie.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
There's like
Ricky
a follow-up
Bobby.
sequel.
Ricky
Hey,
Bobby's in the
Ricky
house.
Bobby.
Hello, sir.
Hey, hey.
Hey,
Dude.
Ricky Bobby.
When his little brother couldn't get up, had me dying. Oh, when they packed him so full of winter clothing that he couldn't get up when he fell over. Yeah, that is funny. Don't get me wrong, that is funny. And when dipshit gets his tongue stuck to the pole, also funny. There's
Yeah.
been funnier moments with the tongue stuck to the pole, but that's all basically emulating what they did in this. So there was a lot of that. Now, has anybody in the chat or either of you two seen the sequel when he's much, much
I,
older?
I was about to ask
No.
you the same question.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I started it and I got bored really, really fast. And I was like, if I didn't care much for the original, why am I doing this to myself? So I shut it off and started something else. What that other thing was, I
Yeah.
don't remember. But they crank out Christmas films now like it's water. Like there's just so
Mhm.
many Christmas films, particularly the Hallmark Christmas movies and the imitation Netflix version of Hallmark Christmas movies. There are a shit ton. So enjoy those. There's also a series of this girl that like bakes in murder mysteries, like keep happening around her, and she's a baker and she owns a bakery or some shit, and it's all like he cookied himself to death, or a icing on the cake this Christmas or something like that. Something really stupid that they have, and I can't remember if that one's on Netflix or Amazon. It's one or the other.
Is that real, or are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. It's a series of murder mysteries around a girl that like bakes. She has a bakery or something, or she just loves to bake. I can't remember which. But
That's weird.
yeah, when I was back in April, I think back home, me and my mom and dad watched it when my mom recovered from her hip surgery. It was okay. It was okay. Frank says, I saw a Christmas Story Christmas. I like when Ralphie tells his kids, don't let Santa kick you in the face. Aww. And Big
I
Sal
love
says,
that part of the movie though.
okay, I want to know, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Well,
Well, yeah, why not, right?
and
Yeah.
Big Sal, you said best tongue stuck is in Dumb and Dumber. You're not wrong, dude, because he gets on the lift. He has to go around and around and around, or like up and down on the lift. He's just stuck there. He's like, hey, how you doing? You know, when people are getting on with him and stuff. That's the best. That is an awesome, awesome movie and a great scene. Die Hard. Well, it's funny you should ask about Die Hard. Because why not? Let's talk about Die Hard. A great villain in Die Hard.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber. Played by the indemnable William H. Macy.
No.
What? It's
no.
not? It's not?
It's the late, great, God bless his soul, Mr. Alan
Rickman.
Rickman.
There you go. There you go. I don't know why. I always think it's William H. Macy. He plays such a good villain, you know? Okay, so I'm going to play some music.
Wow.
I'm just going to loop this throughout the whole thing. Unfortunately, this one gets really annoying because it just keeps getting louder and louder and louder, and I don't know why it does that.
Why are you playing this in front of Hans Gruber?
That's true. I should play something deadly, right? How about this?
Isn't there the one song that's in the movie?
Which song?
There's like another Christmas song.
That I don't remember. Do I remember? I bet there was, but I just can't remember.
It's the scene where the vault opens.
Is it that?
Someone in the chat knows. What is this that you're playing?
It's just thunder and rain. He's a villain.
You know,
it works.
Well, you know what? He was a great villain because he was a leader of men, and he had a great intellectual mind of what he was planning and plotting.
It's true. It's true. He was the brains behind the operation. He did instruct. He instructed Huey Lewis without his news on what to do. That motherfucker in that movie, you can't tell me that motherfucker in that movie does not look like Huey Lewis. That guy looks like Huey Lewis. Totally a Huey Lewis look-alike. In fact, I think that he should go on tour. And then Bonnie and I can actually finally go see Huey Lewis in the news. Because he canceled when we were supposed to go see him. And it's because he lost his hearing. Or had the issue with the hearing. And never went back to touring, sadly. But yeah, what's so great about Die Hard, and why does it classify itself? Why do we classify it as a Christmas film? Now, to me, a lot of films, in order to be classified as something, there has to be an element of it that if you take it out, it doesn't work. And that means Christmas, to me, is that element. So with Die Hard, if it was Valentine's Day or the 4th of July or something like that, how different would this film have been? How different would this movie have been? Would it have been that different, or would it still have carried the basic general essence of the film with it throughout? You know, instead of I got a shotgun now, or a ho ho ho, or whatever, it's I got a shotgun, happy 4th, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
So if it took place during Thanksgiving, would have made that much of a difference.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with Christmas, it gave, like, the reason for the party. Like, I mean, there could be any reason for a party, but, like, I feel like it was a really good reason for the party. Like it's a Christmas party, everyone's drinking. Like I feel as though Christmas is the catalyst
Mm-hmm.
for all of these events.
And he had to go. He flew back to try to reconnect with his wife, thinking romantically Christmas time might work or something like that. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Ricky says, "Do offices throw Valentine's Day parties?" Some do. And
They really?
yeah, yeah. I had one every year. When I worked for a company, I worked by myself, and I would have a holiday party every holiday. It would just be me. I'd wear red and white or something for Valentine's Day. 4th of July, I'd, just drape the
Red, white, and
flag
blue?
around me and not wear pants. Just the usual stuff,
What about Labor Day?
Labor Day, I would carry a shovel. Yeah,
Oh.
go figure. Go figure.
And what about April Fool's Day?
April Fool's Day. Well, remember that time you came over, Kevin, because I invited you?
Ah, ah,
That
ah,
was-
ah.
Oh, yes. How foolish of you. You
But
fell,
it's amazing.
you
This
fell
movie came
for
out
it.
35 years ago. This movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
1988.
Frank says, I've got a machine gun. Happy Arbor Day. Big Sal should have done it on Oktoberfest. And
That's
then
true. You should.
and then Mom says, it's so sad. No, Mom, it was great. I had great holiday parties. I had some of the best holiday parties by myself. All right, so what makes Han such a good villain? I think it's because he was cold, calculating, in what you're saying. He was super intelligent. When he got caught or found by John McClane, he pretended to then be a hostage that was somehow escaped. Oh, don't shoot me! Don't shoot me like that. Pure genius. You know what I mean? Like he was caught. He was a fish in a barrel. He had nothing, and he used his wits to get his way out of it. He used his genius, his ingenuity, his quick thinking like that to get his way out of it and be able to learn a little bit more about John and what he has and what his capabilities are. So he was studying his enemy while he was pretending to be somebody else. It's super smart. He's a great villain in this. Super great villain. Probably one of the all-time best.
I have to agree. Yeah.
All right.
Would you be honored to work for Hans Gruber?
I mean, in real life, no.
No. Like, as John McClane ends up killing you.
I mean, how many of the bad guys made it out alive?
0.
So no. I would be okay with being the limo driver that got stuck in the garage.
Oh, he's the
That's
best.
true. That's true.
It's fine by me. I'd be the limo driver, or the policeman that's outside.
Mr. Winslow.
Yeah, Carl Winslow. Yeah, no Urkel there.
Now, do you guys go see this every Christmas Eve like I do, or am I like?
Go and see it?
Yeah, I go to the New Bev every single year to go see it on Christmas Eve.
No, never done that.
Oh.
That I'm aware of. I've never done that. I didn't know they played it every Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
You said the New Bev, they play it every single Christmas Eve?
Yeah, they have 2 shows, like an afternoon and a night.
Ain't that something?
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Big Sal says, I got a gun. Psych. I lied. April Fools. There you go. Lakes.
Hello, Lokes. Hello, Lokes.
Oh, that's okay. Lokes. I thought it said lakes. My eyes are old, like me.
They're deceiving you.
Yes. Okay, so we've talked about John McClane. We've talked about The Christmas Story. Anything else, you guys? Was there something else that we were thinking? How about we talk about another one that people don't necessarily always consider as a Christmas film? But I argued this one, and I was like, we should put it in just because.
Which one?
Max Shrek.
Oh, yes. Are we talking about the guy who played by Christopher Walken in Batman Returns from 1992?
I think we are. I think we are, yeah. Gonna move
I
him
mean, how
around
is
a
he
little
not a
bit.
villain?
There we go.
There
Max.
wouldn't be a Catwoman if it wasn't for him, or at least a Selena
I
Kyle in
know,
this
but
movie.
like,
Without,
Yeah, what
he
a
like pushes
dick.
her out the window.
This guy's
I
a
mean,
jerk.
I don't know.
Classic jerk.
I mean that's messed up. He would push his secretary, or as we now call it, administrative assistant, out the window. That's messed up.
Pretty messed up.
And I feel like because he tried to get the Penguin, like, elected mayor, like I feel like all of that is very villainous. Like,
Well, yeah, he wanted to
activity.
be the one pulling the strings. So yeah, Oswald Cobblepot will be my puppet, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in some respects, he probably is, out of the three villains, the worst of the three.
You think so?
Yeah. You know, he's kind of like that classical corporate villain trying to pull strings from behind the scenes. The other two villains, if you think about it, is they're kind of, in some ways, they're victims of circumstance.
True, and they're more extreme, though. I think that's why we highlight them a little more. They're more extreme. They're less up here. You know what I mean? There's no real strategy. It's more like two little anarchists out in the field that you've selectively dropped, boom and boom, and you're like, let's watch them go. Let's watch the chaos. So yeah, he's could be the ultimate villain. In fact, he's probably the closest thing to Ra's al Ghul that we got before we got Ra's al Ghul. If you think about it.
That is true. Which, by the way, speaking of which, Vandal Savage, after watching that Justice League animation with him in it, it's called Justice League Doom. Wow, he's good. He's up there with Ra's al Ghul as far as like someone who plans strategically ahead of time and plotting for years and years and years. Yeah, he's so old.
He absolutely should be. Yeah, he's been around for centuries. The man's learned a few things, So yeah, you would definitely think that. And in fact, he's a very underutilized villain, if you ask me.
I tell you, when the time's right, if James Gunn, if he continues to be around, if things work out with the movies that him and the other fella have planned, they should use Vandal Savage at some point.
Frank says Andrew Bernarski had a normal build in Batman Returns. The next year, he was jacked and shredded in the program. The program where they took that scene out where everybody laid.
Oh, yep.
On the middle of the highway, on the middle of the street.
Yep.
On the yellow line as people drove past on both sides, proving that they were men. And of course, all the stupid kids across the U.S. was like, let's try that. And they were getting run over, laying in the middle of the goddamn street like idiots. It was so stupid. So stupid. I remember it because I was around when that movie came out. I was young. I was in school. And when that movie came out, I was like, why are people doing this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, I'm not doing that.
But unfortunately, a lot of people copy what they see in the movies, but they shouldn't blame the movies for it if someone wants to be stupid. It's like the Fast and the Furious movie. How many car accidents have occurred because people have seen all the Fast and the Furious stunts, unfortunately,
Oh, true, yeah. People try to emulate that. I just heard last night, I was sitting here in the room, I was watching one of the Santa Claus movies, and I was sipping some tea, and I heard this big and then and I knew it was a hit and run instantly. I was like, somebody lost control. They were speeding down the road. They lost control. They ran into the side of a car or something and then took the fuck off. Like, just drove off. You see it every day in LA. You just drive along one main strip of road, not on the freeway, just on the street. And you look off to the side and you always see some car that just looks jacked. It's like mangled. There's broken glass all around it. The bumper's been pushed up through the back or whatever, or the sides dented in completely. The mirror's gone. Just happened,
I hate to say this, and maybe you two agree with me because you're also from outside of LA. I've seen the craziest car accidents since I've lived out here.
Yeah.
It's like, how did the car get in that position on that side of the road? How did it get from here to there? Like, I'm always like mystified. How did you do that to your car?
Yeah. It is surprising. Like, you'll see it pointing the other way on its side up against the median.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute. Like, you would have had to turn around and then hit and up and then down land. And it was like, how does that work? Right. But it does. God bless them. It does. It's proof positive that people are dumb and will continue to be dumb.
True that.
Dum dums.
Tracy, do you have another Christmas villain choice?
Whoa. Hold up, real quick.
What?
Big Sal says, I don't have faith in James Gunn. First of all,
Whatever.
sir, it's Gunn. Put some respect on it. On that last name. Put some respect.
I have
on that last name.
100% faith in James Gunn.
Me too. I'm sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy films were pretty damn fun. The Suicide Squad film
movie was good.
Was fantastic. Peacemaker series was fantastic. And you, Sal, are a drunk. You're drunk. You're probably drunk right now. You're probably put the beer down.
And didn't he announce today that Nicholas Hoult will be Lex Luthor?
No, I don't. Really? I don't believe Sal did that. I think James Gunn may have, but I don't think
James Gunn did that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is an excellent choice. I love Nicholas Hoult.
Me too.
So Beast is playing Lex Luthor?
Yes. The zombie that fell in love is playing Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Also, he's pretty good in The Menu too, if I might add.
Oh, so good in The Menu. Great. Don't get me started on The Menu. I love that movie.
Probably my favorite or second favorite from last year. It was just fantastic film. Yeah. I was so excited to go see it.
And like no one saw it. I feel like when I went to go see it, it was very empty.
I know.
So
again, dumb gonna dumb. You know what I'm saying?
It was probably poorly marketed. Maybe that was the issue.
Yeah.
Could be.
All
right, I'm gonna take this guy off the screen there. There we go, Tracy. When you're
Tracy, hit us with something.
So I think on the list when we were going over this, Granville Sawyer, I feel was an interesting choice on the list, just because I hate that guy. I always forget, but it's like he's definitely a villain, but because the movie itself, Miracle on 34th Street, is so like wholesome and positive, I feel like you almost forget he's a villain because he's like a funny villain. But like that guy was downright just like mean and like black heart. I don't know. Like when I look back on it, my God, that guy he is a crazy villain. Like he hates Santa Claus. Who hates Santa Claus?
That's true.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Some people out there do hate Santa Claus.
Yeah. But
hello, Dennis. Thank you for joining us.
Dennis?
Yeah, but I think that's a really good choice for villains is Granville Sawyer, A Miracle on 34th Street.
So what does he do? He just basically kicks him out of the store?
Yeah, and he's always trying to prove that he's like insane. So instead of just like letting people live their life, he's like hell bent on like destroying this guy's life.
I mean, we've all worked with that person, right?
Yes. And his goal is to institutionalize the guy playing Santa Claus, like who is a sweet old man who is not threatening to anybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he like tricks him. He like kind of like tricks him into taking the tests because he is Santa Claus. So of course he's going to say he's Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think he's very devious and like weaselly.
And his name was Grainsville Restaurant, correct?
Granville, so yeah, exactly.
You know, it does sound like a restaurant. Granville Sawyer's
Diner
there's a restaurant called
like Granville. I love Granville. It's pretty good.
Granville Sawyer, there we go. I'll just put that up real quick and then delete it immediately because we're going to be moving on anyway.
Yeah. That was a quick hit.
That was a quick hit, yeah. I don't think we put Oogie Boogie on the list, though.
No, it's there. It's there.
Did we? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Big Sal just mentioned it, so we're going to talk about Oogie Boogie now. Because he said Oogie Boogie hates Santa, and he's not wrong. He's not a big fan of Santa himself. And in fact, here's the thing, guys. Shouldn't we have by now gotten, like, an Oogie Boogie origin story? Like,
that's true.
Why haven't we gotten that? Like, that drives me up the wall. I don't know why it does, but it does. I want to know Oogie Boogie's origins. I want to know how he became Oogie Boogie.
Really?
Yeah, I want to know what he was before Oogie Boogie, or like if he was created, or if he was like human and got twisted and morphed into Oogie Boogie. Like what made him this sack of worms and hate? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is it about Oogie Boogie? Like, I don't know. I'm just drawn to the idea of his origin, and I really want to know.
What if he was like a former elf of Santa?
Whoa.
That could be.
Now there's an origin story.
Maybe Santa, cut his pay or something like that, and he was just really upset.
So yeah, yeah.
Maybe he
I
got
don't know. I'm not.
overworked.
I feel like too. He's so. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he is like kind of mysterious. Like, how did he become this? How did he become this bag of bugs?
See, that's what I'm
Sack of bugs.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How did this happen? What did he do in life to become that, or to be like, or created that way, or anything like that? I'm so curious what is going on with this Oogie Boogie.
Yeah. I would love to see like a Frankenstein type story.
Yeah.
Like he was created by some mad scientist and then he just like took on a life of his own.
I mean, he could have been the result of that scientist that worked on Sally. He could have been like his first experiment that escaped or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's
Yep.
why he's also hates, like Jack, because
Mm-hmm.
maybe he thinks that Sally was made for him.
Yeah.
Then you have another Frankenstein parallel to the Bride of Frankenstein,
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think though that Oogie Boogie is like one of the most popular villains
Mm-hmm.
like for Christmas movies. I don't know, Christmas, Halloween / Christmas movies, because like that movie, it could go either way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's great.
everyone loves Oogie Boogie, so I think
It's
that movie actually would be a good idea. It
the
would be a
best
moneymaker.
thing about this film is all the stuff that they created, like all the figures and the statues and the nutcrackers and everything, because you can leave
Hmm.
that shit up from October all the way into January. You can
That's true.
leave it up the entire time because you're not taking it back. You're not putting it down for Thanksgiving and putting it back up for Christmas. You're leaving it up the whole time. It's great. I have like
Hmm.
multiple Nightmare Before Christmas things, and I just leave them up from the beginning of October, probably even sometimes the middle of September until like the middle of January. That shit stays up. And,
Yeah,
Big,
it's a real
Disney
time saver.
transforms the Haunted Mansion every year
Mhm.
from September like 9th all the way through the end of the year with Nightmare Before Christmas. They really capitalize. They're like, it's up for like months at a time.
That's
And
great.
yeah.
That's what you need. You need things to draw in the locals to come back and stuff, and I think that's one of them. Everybody likes the Nightmare Before Christmas redo in that world.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Big
For
Sal is now casting a live action version of Nightmare Before Christmas. Hugh Jackman as Jack Skellington.
I think he's a little too big. Can we go with the dude from Peaky Blinders though?
Oh, Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, can we go with Cillian Murphy as Jack Skellington?
Oh, he would be a good Jack Skellington.
That could work. That could work.
Can we do that? Like if he could sing, or maybe just do Danny Elfman if he wasn't so jacked now. Jesus, Danny Elfman. Why'd you
Sal
go?
wants to play Oogie Boogie for some reason.
he just puts a mouthful of worms and just turns around, and that's his Oogie Boogie performance. That would be scary. See Sal with a mouthful of worms. I don't think I'd want to do that. Sorry, Dad. My dad doesn't like that. He's like, oh, disgusting.
I got one coming up next. Okay. How about Marv and Harry chasing my namesake in a big house?
So good.
What?
Home Alone is like such a perfect Christmas
Oh.
movie to me. I don't know. And I love Marv and Harry. They're so good.
I took multiple years off of this film, and then went back to it, and now it's something that I love to continue to watch. You know what I mean? Like I love the new tradition that I guess I brought it back. In other words, I brought this tradition back of watching it, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, they're great. They're a real treat.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch them. I remember the best memory about this film was when it first came out. It came out around the same time I think as Oscar did with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, it came out in 1990.
And I wanted to see Oscar. And my dad was like, but, son, Home Alone. And I was like, nah, this one looks good. Let's go see this one, Oscar. So if I recall, I think my dad either took me to see Oscar or paid to see Oscar so I could go see Oscar. And it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And then he's like, all right, now can we go see Home Alone? And I was like, okay. So then we went. It was the last time we'd ever gone to the Quaker Cinema in New Philadelphia, Ohio, before they went out of business. It was like one of the last films that they were showing, because the big Cineplex in the mall was like starving them out because they only had 2 screens in the middle of town. And we went to see it, and some of the seats were covered with trash bags and stuff because you couldn't use them and anything, you know, anymore. And so I think we may have gotten popcorn. I'm not 100%. But we sat there, and it was just me and my dad, and maybe, I don't even know if anybody else was in the theater, maybe 1 or 2 other people. But we watched Home Alone, and he was right. It's pretty damn funny. We laughed our asses off. It was a real good time. And that's a great holiday memory that I have of Home Alone. And I guess that sentimentality comes back when you watch stuff like that. You know, you get that feel again, which is nice. It's nice to have.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, especially how this little kid just takes out these 2 grown adults trying to rob the house. It's great. All those clever traps he created. I mean, it's classic.
Mm-hmm. Now, hear me out on. Go ahead, Tracy.
I was gonna say, and I just watched Home Alone 2 as well. Like I did like a little mini marathon, or I guess a double feature. And Marv and Harry are just as funny in the second one as they are in the first one, and their antics are all different. I don't know. I don't know how that worked, but they're great. Yeah, the Sticky Bandits.
Yeah, and then how Kevin creates a whole series of traps at this old abandoned or like remodeled, you know, not penthouse, but like townhouse type situation. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about, has there ever been a porn version of this movie?
What? Why would you think that?
Okay, hear me out on this. Ho Alone. It's not Home Alone. It's Ho Alone. And like these burglars are trying to sneak in to her.
I don't know. I don't know if I should be like appalled or laugh the fact that you even thought about this.
Exactly.
Okay, it just came to me because I was typing in Home Alone, and I missed the M, and it came up H-O-E, Ho Alone, and I was like, oh, inspiration struck right then, you know, like inspiration. So now I have to write the script.
You see, even Sal saying, "Pops, get your son,
please." He's done for the night. Let him go.
Now, I hope that root beer you're drinking isn't laced with something, or that tea you're now drinking is laced with something.
What? No, it's not.
Oh.
I hope not either. Trader Joe's is in a lot of trouble. Frank says, I like when the homeless bird lady throws the bird feed on Harry and Marv.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. And the great thing about that is the birds still get fed. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they still get fed. It's not like they're not going to eat that feed. You know, they're still going to eat that feed. So, it's fine. It's fine. It's grand. Tim Curry in the sequel. Fantastic villain.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how they paralleled his smile to the Grinch's smile, showing the Grinch and smiling, and then kind of fading into Tim Curry's smile. I think it's very smart. The Pizza Dude, it's great. The Mom and Dad are great. Just classic films. Geez, I may watch one of them tonight now that we've talked about it.
Jam Michael, he actually did a Google search for you.
Thanks, Jam Michael. Google search is
nothing
not
there.
Confirm a Ho Alone.
I feel like people were like, nah, that's a little too over the top.
I mean, could you imagine the trailer to such a movie? My goodness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What would it be? Instead of Marv, it'd be large, and instead of Harry, it would
be Harry.
It'd be Harry. Yeah.
This Christmas, couple on for a journey.
With large and hairy as they go after Home Alone.
Jeez, good Lord, man. Terrible.
Who are you? I'm New York. Home Alone 2. Lost in New York.
Oh, man.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry, but that's Home Alone. Great film.
You know,
great
since
classic.
now you put these dark thoughts out there, what's your adult version for Die Hard?
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm sure there's one of those. There's got to be one of those.
There's got to be like Try Hard, Get Hard.
Well, actually, there was a comedy called that.
Get Hard?
With Kevin Hart and...
oh, that's true. Oh, God, that penis scene. Jesus, and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Okay, where he finds out, in that Get Hard, where he finds out, like, Kevin Hart's trying to train Will Ferrell to be able to, like, survive in prison. And Will's like, oh, no, and he pays him. And Kevin's not, like, his character wasn't even in prison. But he's pretending like he was so he can get the money. And I think it's for his family or something. So Will Ferrell's like, he's not getting hard enough. He's not like a prison tough. And he's like, unfortunately, you might have to be the bitch. And he's like, in which case, you're going to have to satisfy people sexually. So he's like, you're going to have to take a penis. At some point, you're going to have to take a penis, right? So then there's this whole scene where Will Ferrell goes with this guy into the bathroom. And they show the actual penis. And it's like in his face. It's the best scene.
That was disturbing.
It's the best scene ever.
No, that wasn't the best scene. That was disturbing, man. That was disturbing.
It's the best, Kevin. Yes, it was. It's fantastic.
See, Tracy is disturbed too.
Jan says direct. Yeah, you can get the direct edition. I get that. We love you. You got to do better than that. We know that you're in there, ho, and that you're all alone. We know that you're in there, ho, and that you're all alone. She's like, oh no.
All right, we got to move on to something else.
All right, fine. Gosh. Okay.
How about the adorable, but ugly but adorable Stripe from Gremlins?
Okay. Yeah.
You like that? You like that movie, right, Tracy? Gremlins.
No.
No?
I feel as though
Oh.
I'm very not into Gremlins. I don't know. Like it was one of those movies I had never seen, and I said, you know what? Let me go see it at like the New Bev. No, hard pass.
One of the Gremlins just completely took over Tracy's face on the screen.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, talk about a villain. Stripe's a villain's villain, you know.
And look, he's like playing poker.
Mm-hmm. And there we go.
I'm not the only one who doesn't like Gremlins. I feel like people are just afraid to admit it. Kind of like The Godfather.
Man, I don't know.
Wow. Come on now. How could you not enjoy this movie? You got the cute little gremlin Gizmo. How can you not like
boring.
it?
I just
really?
think it's super boring. Yeah.
You got bored with it? Oh, man. I don't know about that, Tracy. I don't know if I can back your play on that one.
I mean, and I don't know if it's just like I watched it in the wrong time. Like, you know how there's movies that you should have watched when you were younger?
True. But
that might be what it is.
I will say it's surprisingly, when I rewatched it, I was like, holy shit, this is scary. Like, what was I doing trying to watch this when I was younger? Like, it's scary as hell. It's a horror film. Gremlins, to me, is a horror film that takes place around Christmas.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I wouldn't technically classify it as a Christmas film, even though like he's bought as a Christmas gift and stuff like that, which I get. But I would just say it's either a horror film or a Christmas horror film. So, but I don't. But I couldn't call it. I couldn't call it a straight Christmas film. You know what I mean? I couldn't, in my head, I couldn't do it. But I get why you think that, and I get why a lot of other people think the same thing. Absolutely. I hope a bird turds on Taylor Swift, says Big Sal.
Did he really say that? Did he really say that?
He must
Big
really like
Sal.
Gremlins. He must
He must
really.
really like
He
Gremlins.
really does.
Those are fighting words.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Even Donald wouldn't say that.
No, I
That's
wouldn't.
true.
No, no.
Don't be jealous of a billionaire,
Because
sir.
Tracy knows where I live. So, you know, I, I'm not
And work.
Yeah,
I know where you live
that's
and work.
true. And what kind of car I drive and everything. Yep. Yep. She knows my weaknesses. This is not good. I can't back your play on this one, Sal. I'm sorry.
Nope, nope.
Yep.
I'm out. He says Gremlins is
I mean,
awesome.
I get his coffee every Wednesday night. I don't think he wants to mess with that.
That's true. Is there
And you want
poison in this? Perhaps.
Exactly.
Oh no! Done. And then Tracy's like, well, it could be. Wait. It's like, what's the villain? The villain in Chinese films would always do.
oh, oh, all the Pai Mei characters. Yeah.
Yeah. So instantly, Tracy turns and she has this big mustache. She's just twirling it.
A beard.
Yeah.
One of those long beards.
Yeah. You could do that too.
Apparently, Sal thinks you're going to put X-Lax in his coffee on Wednesday.
Tracy's gonna put X like, why? I didn't do anything. You did it,
Not
Sal.
in Donald.
Yeah. Do you want some coffee, Sal, when you come to visit on Wednesday? You want some coffee? Tracy will get you some. You want some coffee, Sal?
A little something extra.
A little something extra in your coffee? Mmm. Okay, so Gremlins is a no for Tracy.
So Tracy, since you hate Gremlins, what villain you have next on your mind?
It's the one that when I looked at the list earlier, I thought I want to watch that movie immediately because I love it so much, which is BZ from Santa Claus the movie.
Mm-hmm.
With Dudley Moore and
yeah,
John Lithgow,
played by John Lithgow. I mean, like that guy he's such a bad person.
I'll try. I'm having. There we go. Santa Claus. There we go.
Like he has no regard for people's safety whatsoever.
Yeah, he is.
And
terrible.
he hates homeless people. So he tries to get rid of the kid. Like it's the whole thing with like the niece and oh my God, that movie.
My favorite thing is when at the end where like he's caught and he's trying to escape and he starts eating all the candy canes that helps make you fly. And he's just like, and he's just shoveling them in his mouth. And I'm like, this guy's evil. He's evil. He's going to get away with it, And he obviously he doesn't. Right. He doesn't get away with it. This is a fun film. I think it gets overlooked a lot because of Dudley Moore. I'm just going to blame him.
No, don't blame him.
No other reason why. It's just Dudley Moore's fault.
I feel like it came out at a time where other things were just more popular. So it kind of got buried.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I watched it when I was a kid. I still watch it. I watch it every single year.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. I remember watching it a lot when I was a kid, and then I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I really did. I forgot about the film even existing. And the guy that plays Santa, and I cannot remember his name offhand, but he's a fantastic Santa Claus in that film.
Yeah.
Really is a fantastic Santa Claus. And it just goes to show you how, an elf can get kind of...
David Huddleston played him.
Thank you. Can get caught up in money and power and fame and stuff and be kind of suckered into that world a little bit. And BZ was very clever. Again, another business tycoon, another businessman that's able to take advantage of the holiday season against people. We saw it, in Miracle on 34th Street. We see it in It's a Wonderful Life. We see it in Batman Returns. Just over and over and over and over, we see the greed, the corporate greed that is associated with this. And I think Bezos is next. So they're coming for you, Bezos. You better watch yourself. It's going to be
And
a Christmas
I don't know if anyone
Amazon.
else. He's evil in his own right. He's just an everyday villain, Donald, not just a Christmas villain. Uh,
True.
but anyway, but I feel like this movie too, for me, I don't know if it's true for other people, but like this movie makes all the food look really good. Like for whatever reason, like when the little
Yeah.
kid is eating the food, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what he's eating, but I want it. It just seems like it's so delicious. And like the Coke just looks like it's the best Coke ever in the movie. I don't know why. That's what I always think when I watch this movie. Every time.
Yeah.
It's how good the food looks.
You're not wrong. They did actually make it look really, really good. And you can blame or pat on the back set decoration and those guys that put that together, art direction and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody behind the scenes there that made everything look so delicious and tasty. And kind of like that scene from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom where they all sit down to a nice family dinner and they cut open that snake and then all the other snakes slither out and then the monkey brains.
Monkey head.
Yeah, where they take the skull off and it's steaming inside and stuff. Yeah, everything just looks so appetizing to me. It's
You know what? They couldn't make that movie today.
You don't think so?
No, with that scene alone, that would upset so many people.
Oh, with the monkey? Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I could see that. I could see that.
What do you got, Donald?
I was thinking. I was looking at this and I was thinking. Who did I want to bring up? I actually wanted to talk about this just because I think it's it's a tough one. I would probably go with Let's talk Professor Hinkle from Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really so much of a villain as just a dude that wants his shit back, you know?
I've never seen it.
You've never seen... What? Oh my God, come on, Tracy. You've seen Frosty the Snowman.
Not in its entirety. I've seen like bits and pieces.
Seriously?
A lot of the Rankin and Bass stuff, I've only seen bits and pieces. I think the only thing I've ever seen start to finish was Mad Monster Party.
But you grew up in Maine. You grew up in a colder state than I did.
I know. I don't know how it escaped me. Like how it never.
How Frosty escaped? Well, I can tell you it's magic, my dear. Magic. That's how Frosty escaped. Using the power of magic and children's laughter and love. That's how Frosty escaped you. Because you're the true villain here. Because you didn't watch it. You didn't watch the movie. Frosty the Snowman is so iconic. Now, we give a lot of credit to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? Because it's stop-motion animation. There's a little more sentimentality behind that kind of thing. But I feel Frosty the Snowman deserves just as much credit. Has just as good of a villain, if not better. Because, again, this dude just wants his shit back. He's not really technically a villain so much as I want my property. Now, what the quandary then lies within this character is that if you take your property back from this animated snow god thing, you're essentially killing him. You're eliminating him from existing. Because your livelihood, do you imagine that? Kevin, imagine if somebody said, Kevin, the hat that you wear, right? Or, I don't know, I guess maybe let's say your computer or something with all of your work in there. They're like, oh, Kevin, we need your computer with all of your work on it. Why? Well, so there's just a stick out in the yard, and if we give it the computer, it's going to come to life. And you're like, shit, I have work to do. I got to get my shit done. That's how I pay my bills. And they're like, no. No, we need that computer. Kevin, you don't understand. There's a stick in the yard, and the local kids play with that stick when it comes to life. So it needs your laptop. It needs your computer in order to survive. And you're like, no, motherfucker, I got to pay my bills. And they're like, nope, sorry. You can live on the streets. Give us your laptop. That stick's coming to life. What? How is Professor, how is he that bad of a guy? You know what? How is he a villain? Like, the dude just wants to put food on the table with his magic hat. Yeah.
for his family.
Yeah, we don't
Yes.
know. When he goes home, we don't know if he probably has 6 or 7 kids, and they're all like, Papa, I'm hungry. And he's like, I'm sorry.
Right.
That damn hat's on that big snowball over there again. And the kids keep playing with it. And now they're singing songs. I'll try to get it back. I'll try. Please, Papa, we're starving. Okay, okay. You know? Who's the asshole now? It's the kids. It's the selfish little shitty kids. They're the true
Isn't
villains
it
in
always?
this.
Isn't
Yes.
it always though?
9 times out of 10, yes. It's the selfish, shitty little kids that ruin it for Christmas time. There you have it, everybody.
Yep, I
Wow.
agree.
That was quite a
Go on.
speech.
Thank
That was
you.
that was quite a speech on behalf of Professor Hinkle. I've never heard that before.
Right. Not a
Right?
true villain. Possibly
Well, you know what's
a misunderstood hero. Just trying to feed his
now,
children.
since you're going there, I have a similar thing for another villain, the abominable snow monster from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mm.
He wasn't really a bad guy either. He was just misunderstood.
That's true, but they at least show it, in a lot of ways.
That's true.
They
That's
kind of
true.
do a little bit with Hinkle. He kind of understands at the end. But I think they give the abominable snowman a better arc than they do Professor Hinkle.
Yeah. And at the end, it was all good. He's just a poor, lonely Yeti. He just needed some friends, Just
I'm
needed
gonna
some
I'm gonna
friends.
title him the Bouncing Bumble,
The Bouncing Bumble,
right? And didn't they call him a Bumble? Bumble's Bounce or something?
something like that.
They were like, Bumble's Bounce. And we're gonna call him the Bouncing Bumble.
But look at this fellow, Tracy. He's just a lonely fellow out in the mountains. He just needed a friend or two. That's why he was
Yeah.
behaving the way he was.
If my dad
mean-
kept his beard the way it was when I was younger, he would look like that now. I think. Probably pretty close. Just completely white. And...
With blue hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's got a circulation issue.
So what were you saying before, Tracy, about the fellow?
I was just saying. No, I feel like that the abominable snowman in general is always a misunderstood character. Like he's just trying to go about his life and live his life undisturbed.
Mm-hmm. Just like real life Yetis, if they do exist in the Himalayan mountains, they're just trying to live their life. That's all. If you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time,
Yep.
things happen.
Shangri-La. I
Yes.
believe. They always say that Yetis exist in Shangri-La.
Yes.
By chance. Who knows? Who knows if they're true? If they really exist. If they exist, then Bigfoot has to exist, right? I mean, that's
Sasquatches. The Sasquatches.
that's a given. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that all mythological creatures do exist. Mothman, for instance, did exist. Now, a lot of people say that Mothman's dead, that Mothman has passed away, sadly. It was a giant moth-like human-esque hybrid creature, and they haven't seen him in 20, 30 years. So they're like, we're pretty sure the Mothman's like gone. Like,
unless the government captured him.
There you go. That's a possibility. That's
That
a
is
good
a possibility.
And they've just been tormenting and torturing him this entire time. Wouldn't it be great, like, to be able to have access to all the secrets of the universe, like, at one point, even if it's like right before you pass away? Like, they're like, okay, we're going to give you access to all the secrets of the universe, and then you're going to die. Whatever you're going through at that moment, everything pauses, and then somebody comes down or around, and they're like, hey, you want some secrets? Yeah, because you can't tell anybody because you're going to die. Oh, okay. I always wondered if that's a thing that could happen. Secrets of the universe. It's a possibility.
Maybe.
And maybe in my head, at least, scary up there sometimes. But So Kevin, the abominable snowman is one of your favorite villains?
Yes, because he wasn't really a villain. Like I say, just a misunderstood fellow. He was alone.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have any friends. He was just acting out. Rawr.
Agreed.
He didn't really want to hurt anybody.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. We probably have time for a few more, so let's pop out a few more here. Like, for example, I'm just popping up on the screen here, and we'll talk about each one real quickly. The Grinch. Now, this is the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch, but you can get the animated version, the original, or the Illumination version, which is the one that came out last year before, something like that, last couple of years. that version, whatever you prefer. But the Grinch is a classic villain. He's a classic villain in that, much like, basically, Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol.
Mm.
You can put the two of those side by side because, you chose the Patrick Stewart one. That's a good choice, Kevin.
Thank you.
Side by side because basically they both learn a lesson and their hearts grow as they learn of the townspeople can be part of their family.
Mm-hmm.
So one is definitely a parable, I guess you could say, to the other. So the Grinch is...
wait. One second.
Hmm.
It's not the Grinch. Oh, never mind.
What?
I see it now. Never, I was looking at the wrong thing. Never mind.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So the Grinch and Ebenezer Scrooge, they're very similar in a lot of ways. So I think that what they did was they just took the idea of Ebenezer Scrooge and was like, let's instead of him just being dicks to people and shit, he just goes in and takes their tree and their presents and stuff. And they're like, oh damn! So like a more aggressive Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah, a more aggressive Ebenezer Scrooge. Voila!
Made for kids.
Made for kids, yes. Made for children, yes. And then you have this, and a fantastic idea. I mean, and the songs that we got out of it, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You're an rotten
Vincent
to
Price.
the core.
Oh,
It's
the
fantastic.
animated version is my favorite. Will always be my favorite. Because of that.
Yeah.
I feel like Vincent Price is just so good, and yeah. And because it looks like Dr. Seuss's books, I think too. That's why I like it.
Yeah. They gave it a feel like that. Looks like Big Sean's in the house. How you doing, buddy? He says you could do
Actually, both Seans are here.
You could do a whole show on versions of A Christmas Carol.
That is true.
Oh, Mr. Sean, it's funny that you should mention that because we've got something next week that we're going to be doing that we haven't decided on, but that is one of the options, of course, that we're thinking about discussing. So we always go back and forth on the ideas of what we want, and sometimes we come up with the answer on what we want the podcast to be before the show before it airs, and sometimes it's after. This time we have a few irons in the fire, so to speak, and we're just deciding on which ones we want to choose and put out there. Because I think next week is our last one for the year?
That is true, because the following week is Christmas Day.
Yeah, and then the following week after that is New Year's Day. Yeah, so
Yep.
next week will be our last podcast of the year, guys. So definitely tune in for that one. Kevin, what do you think? Should we do a giveaway next week since it's so close to Christmas?
It's
Give
up
some
to
stuff
Tracy.
away?
It's up to Tracy and you.
Oh, really?
Should we give something away, Tracy?
I mean,
do
I
you
always
think?
think we should give something away.
Okay, hear me out on this. Kevin, we try to do a version of Home Alone, but it's you instead of Kevin McAllister.
I see.
What do you think? And you wake up and you're like, I'm home alone, and then it's you shaving and all that. What do you think?
And then two people break into the house.
Yes, yeah. It's Big Sal and me, and we break into the house. And I think this could work. I think this could work. And Tracy's your mom, and she's like, come on, like that, flipping out.
But that means she has to be away in Europe somewhere.
That's fine. Tracy, you want to go on vacation?
Sure.
Done. There we go. We have
Done.
we have so much extra money at the end of the year from this podcast. I think from the sponsorships, we've made almost enough, guys, to purchase one beer. Almost. So if you think there's money in this, there's not.
Hold on a second. I thought we made $100,000 for the year in advertising.
No.
Where'd the money go?
I don't know. And suddenly you look behind me and everything's like encrusted in gold and shit. I'm wearing a suit and I have somebody feeding me grapes and shit. I have no idea where the money went, Kevin. You son of a bitch. Big Sean says, George C. Scott, my personal favorite Scrooge. A great variation is Christopher Plummer in The Man Who Invented Christmas. Oh, nice. Nice on that one. Enrique says, I'll watch it. There we go. There we go. See, Kevin, we can do a sweeted version. Let's see if we can get this done before next week. We can do a quick version of it. I think we can do it. I think we can do it, guys. I think that we can get this shot and done. We just have to film it in order. Yeah. No, we don't. We don't have to film it in order. So I have the idea. So I need both of you guys to come to the shop. We can create a home situation where Kevin wakes up at the comic shop alone, and then Tracy will just have her look into the camera and go, Kevin! And she's just sitting in a chair that looks, maybe we'll make it try to look like it's on a plane and stuff. I think we could do this. We can get this done. This will be our Christmas gift to you guys, is to do a sweeted version of Home Alone with Kevin.
And to the other Sean, I was actually about to bring him up. The evil Mr. Henry Potter.
Yeah. And Big Sal says, what about Jingle All the Way? Yeah, Jingle All the Way. That's another misunderstood villain, because he's not really so much a villain as he's just, again, another dad that's desperate to take care of his son or his children. Here we go. You said
Mr. Potter.
From It's a Wonderful Life.
You got it.
Also a movie I'm not very fond of.
Really?
People are going to think that I just hate all movies, but I don't.
Well, here's
honestly.
the thing. It's a Wonderful Life. They said that is about 30% of the film is Christmas related? Like the rest of it isn't. And Die Hard is more Christmas related. So they're like, Die Hard is a bigger Christmas film than It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because then they just didn't they do Mr. Destiny? And that was basically It's a Wonderful Life, but on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or something with Jim Belushi. So there's a lot, again, they like to recycle things a lot. Go figure. Surprise. Hollywood recycles things. Shocker, guys.
Oh, they've been recycling things for about 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel but Potter is a good villain. Potter is a really good villain. That guy. You do not care he's sick or old or about to die.
You want him to die. Wait, what?
Yeah.
She wants him dead.
He's so bad. He's so evil. He's so mean.
Yeah, he's not a nice man. Again, he's one of those characters that is a businessman that's all about themselves, about their company, about their money. Very, very gimme, and no givey. You know, they're all about the take, none about the give. And that's sad, really. It's like me with Christmas cards this year. You send me a Christmas card, I'm not sending you one back. I'm not doing it this year. I'm just not doing Christmas cards. I'm not going to do it. It's not happening. Sorry. No cards. No cards for you. I don't have it in me. I don't. Mr. Potter got to me.
Well, Sean says it best. Potter is a true villain. A sick, twisted old man, as George describes him. Scrooge at least finds redemption.
True. That is very true.
And the other Sean is criticizing you, Tracy. What, Tracy? It's a classic.
That's not a critique. It's just a shocking, response.
I know. It falls under the unpopular opinion of me not liking several movies that are very popular. But I think it's just
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull is one. The Godfather is another. Princess Bride is a third.
Donald lost a friend on Facebook 10, 12 years ago because of that. Because him not liking Raging Bull. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's.
Well, I don't know if I lost a friend off that film. I think it was a different film. It was just
I thought it was Raging Bull.
I got the comment of I needed to put my phone down and pay attention to a true classic or some nonsense like that, and I just calmly said the film should have been called "Did You Fuck My Wife?" Because the whole movie is just him going around going, "Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck my wife?" It's like he has brain damage and he just thinks that everybody's sleeping with his wife. And it's so monotonous and just so boring. And I could care less. I was hoping that one of them would go, "Yes, I did. And I loved it." I wanted Sam Jackson to show up and be like, yes, I did, and I loved
Oh
it.
my god.
You know, I wanted that shit to happen so bad, just to make it exciting, because I didn't care one bit about that movie. Rocky, on the other hand, I loved, and it's a true classic and a much more deserving the ringside boxing film. It's much more deserving of a film. I
What about
feel,
Cinderella
anyway.
Man? Cinderella Man?
Cinderella Man is great. It's also cinematic fluff, but it's great. It's designed to give you all the feels in all the right places
Of
because
course.
it's a product of the system, you
Of
know?
course.
Where I feel that Rocky came from the heart and was
It was
more
gritty. It's
gritty and
gritty.
original, and it just had this, on the fringe kind of feel to it. Whereas Cinderella Man felt more really
Polish.
Hollywood
Polish.
produced. Yeah, felt
Polished,
very
yeah.
polished. It's still very good. Don't get me wrong. And I love Cinderella Man, but to me, there isn't a comparison between the two. I would say. Let's see. Enrique says, I like the deleted ending that SNL did for A Wonderful Life. Oh, shoot. What was that one? I can't remember now.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, Enrique, let us know, because I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember it. Sean says, McGinn just says, I'm just surprised. Big Shaw says, Enrique, absolute LOL with Dana Carvey. And Enrique says, yes, LOL. Okay, so it's Dana Carvey. I just want to, like that, right? He's like, I want to tell you. I'm getting better at that voice, by the way.
Oh yes, that's right.
I'm getting better at it.
Especially from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, that
Yeah.
Jiminy Cricket character.
Oh,
Oh
what
my
are you
god.
doing? Yeah.
Oh, I love that character. So good.
Yeah.
Ethical Bug. That's what they call
The
it.
Ethical Bug, yeah. It's a really good movie, too, guys, if you get a chance to see it. The one I have up on the screen right now is Krampus, by the way. Krampus is, to me, it's a new holiday classic. And it proves that, sometimes the Santa version is not going to be around. And if you're just a little shit or your family's terrible, Krampus is going to come for you, So you get Krampus. And Adam Scott, I believe, was in this one. And it's just a hoot. It's really inventive. You do not want to mess around with the Jack in the Box after this movie. Let me tell you. I never want to see a Jack in the Box. I'd be scared to. Nope, stopping right there. Nope, not going to go any further. Don't want that thing to pop and come out and unhinge his jaw and swallow me whole. No, thank you. I am good. I'm good.
I've never even seen Krampus, and I'm good.
Oh, Tracy, it's great. You should watch it. It's a total classic. It's a total classic.
So between Krampus and Billy from Black Christmas, if you had no choice, who would you prefer to deal with?
Me or Donald? Because I've never seen either movie.
I think Billy for me. At least Billy's human. You know what I mean? Like Billy.
It's true.
They're it bleeds. Krampus does not bleed, and even if you think you win, in the end you don't. Was it Billy or Billie? Billie.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Yeah. Black Christmas. This came out in what? 70.
74.
74. Yeah. Man. Talk about a horrific Christmas-related film. Just people getting slaughtered in and around.
In a sorority
Christmas.
house.
Yeah. What a dark time. It's a black. Like, that's the thing. You ever think about that? Like, every year we have Black Friday. And then you have films like Black Christmas, where it's like dark and it's like death and stuff. So why is it so ominous when they say
Black Mass?
Black Friday is right around the corner. And you're like, what? No. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that gift. No. What do you mean?
Yes.
What do you mean? I'm not a hoe alone.
You say it like that.
I'm not a hoe alone.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're gonna give me that present, aren't you? I want that toaster. Yeah. I want that toaster. I have been standing in line longer than you. Give me that. Give me that goddamn stapler. Like, what?
You remember
Stapler? I don't.
a few years ago, a lady was spraying pepper spray or something like that,
Yep.
and
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. She used pepper spray.
she
Yeah.
didn't go to jail.
Kind of amazing. Kind of amazing, to be honest. I'm rather shocked that she did not go to jail. Somebody must have had the Christmas spirit in their heart and pardoned her or let her off the hook. I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. One more for the road, guys. Let's do one more for the
Burger
road here.
Meister Burger.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's put a Meister Burger. Talk about just a real German baddie. Germany, unfortunately, they have a long legacy of villainy. And Burgermeister Meisterburger does not change that at all for them. He's just not a nice dude. He wants to control the town. He wants to control Christmas. He doesn't want people to feel joy, I guess. I don't know. This guy's just a dick, just for the purpose of being a dick. And I work in a world where there's too many of that already. So for me, it's an uncomfortable situation. I don't like people like Burgermeister Meisterburger. I want to kick his ass. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to deal with people like that.
So if you see a toy at the shop or at any shop, you just want to take a toy and just start kicking it and just beating it down.
No, because it's a toy, Kevin. I'm
Oh,
just
I
saying,
see.
like, to the principle of it, the idea of just being a dick to be a dick. I've worked with people like that. Like they want to make your day miserable because they're a miserable person. And, it would be like poor Bob Cratchit, if you think about that. Bob Cratchit had to deal with Ebenezer Scrooge every day. The guy was a dick. He was an unhappy dude, and he made his life a living hell. And you wished that you could have spirits visit them in the middle of the night. Like John Castile, I'll say his name, I don't give a shit. He was somebody that when I worked with that guy was a terrible human being. Like he was
Where was this at?
just awful. And it was back when I worked years and years ago out of state.
Oh,
And he was a terrible human being. Like was just nasty to people just to be nasty to people. And I was like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. But and then like some days he'd come in and he'd be a great person. And it was just really weird to me, like how there was a switch that was flipped where you would just want to make other people miserable for no reason. And I think that's a good lesson to have here to end tonight. Actually, is just if you're having a bad day, that doesn't mean everybody else around you wants to have a bad day.
but misery loves company.
And I said earlier, I said fake it till you make it, and there is a point to that like if you do try to have a little more love in your heart, a little more compassion and stuff, maybe you can bring that out not only of yourself, but you'll definitely bring that out in other people. Like other people see you smiling and they think that you are having a good day. Maybe you're not, but if they think you are, then maybe they're going to have a good day or they'll try. And then you have multiple people trying to have better days. And then maybe
Spreads.
one of these people will make that other person have a better day. It's like if you go to pick up your coffee in the morning or something and the person's an asshole to you, it kind of sets the tone for the day, doesn't it? But if you're like, hey, thanks, have a great day, or something like that. Or and vice versa. If you go to get your coffee and you're, what is this? I said 2 pumps of chocolate syrup, not 3, you whore.
Jeez.
Maybe don't do that. Maybe
Or
just go, oh, okay, well, they made a mistake. They'll get it right next time. Now, I'm going to say if it's like a week straight and they fuck it up, well, then that's on them. You should probably throw that hot coffee on them to teach them a valuable lesson because they'll be scarred from the heat of the coffee. Now, don't actually do that. That's a terrible idea. But in your mind, you could do it. And maybe that'll make you laugh or snicker, and then you can have a better day. There's a lot of things that you can do in your mind that you don't have to do in person. Right,
And
Kevin?
that's right. Sean has one more. Edward Arnold as a sleazy politician, D.B. Norton, who attempts to exploit Gary Cooper as John Doe, and Frank Capra's other Christmas time classic, Meet John Doe.
Meet John Doe. I don't know that movie. I'm gonna
Me
be
neither.
honest.
I've heard of it.
If it's another Christmas time classic, and I've never heard of it in my life, I don't know how classic it is technically. Is it that classic? I mean, is it one of those classics that's so classic that it classicked itself out of classic films? You know what I mean? Like it would. The way it
It was
goes.
so popular that it made itself disappear.
Its head gotten so large of I'm a classic that it just floated out of the picture and no longer is part of the conversation. I guess that could be possible. Vic Sean says, Dawn, it's a Festivus miracle. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A Festivus miracle. Indeed, sir. Oh, by the way, your Thor #4. I think you already got that, by the way. But they finally found the other copy that was supposed to go to you originally. So it's a little annoying, but with the move and everything, it happens. But I'm on the case this week to make sure all the stuff you want is in your box, because I think there's a Sandman coming out or something like that. I don't know, something. Sean says it's worth watching. Okay, Kevin is actually going to watch it, and he's going to write a small report on it. Just 5 pages, Kevin. No, nothing big. And he's going to send it to Tracy and myself, and we're going to review it. And if we like it, we will watch it. Alternatively, he could send us the YouTube link with the trailer for the film, and we can also watch that. But I kind of like the idea of having Kevin watch it and then giving us a 5-page report on it. I think that could be fun.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's on Amazon Prime, and it has Barbara Stanwyck in it.
Well,
can't
I
go
will
wrong
add
there.
this to my list.
Big Sean, you do have Immortal Thor in your box now, anyway, because I put it in there. So if you didn't pick it up, it's still there. So, hey. Yay. But there we go. Okay, geez, golly, guys. This has been fun. Nice casual kind of an evening chatting about Christmas villains. I like it. Next week's going to be truly special. Should we throw it out there to the audience, Kevin, or should we just figure it out between the 3 of us after? Because we had those 2 options.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and then
Okay.
we'll report back.
All right, we're going to figure it out, and then we'll let you guys know. But Kevin and I are cooking. Kevin and I cooking with Kevin and Donald. There we go. Yes. And we'll be cooking with Kevin and Donald. We're going to have a new TV show.
And Tracy.
Tracy. And don't let me forget about Sweeting, doing that Sweeting Kevin Home Alone thing, because I think it's a great idea. I think we should do it. Have it done in time for Christmas. It'll be a nice treat for everybody. Or not. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you all. Tracy, thanks for being our guest tonight. And so sorry about the wait on this. We do appreciate you all. And yes. And Mom says, wish Chris a speedy recovery. Absolutely. Chris was so adamant about being on the show tonight, we had to tell him no. Mm-hmm. But he really wanted to be on, even after having open heart surgery last week, not even a week ago. And he wants to be on the show. And we were like, maybe not, Chris. Maybe just relax. So
not a great idea.
Yeah,
no.
Not the best idea. So we'll see. He may be on next week. He may not. We might talk him out of that too. But we'll see. But at least next year, you'll see the new and improved Chris. He has a cybernetic eye now, which is very interesting.
He didn't tell me that.
Yeah. He literally has X-ray vision. He says it's really weird. But go figure. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Mom and Dad says night, Tracy and Kevin.
Good night.
And Enrique says thank you all. Well, thank you guys. Hope you have a brilliant night. And we just want to take some time right now to wish you some of the best of the holiday season. We're going to do this again next week, of course, but it's important this time of year to wish cheer and holiday merriment to everybody that you see along the way, even if it's that person that you think might be shitting on your lawn and saying it's their dog, but it's too big to be dog shit. Just greet them with a smile this time of year, and then you can worry about shitting on their lawn next year. Things like that. Maybe giving $1 to a stranger for no reason, and if they don't want it, just forcing it on them. Even if you have to shove it in their mouth. because it's $1. It's important. Giving kids things that they don't necessarily need or think they need, like socks. Socks are important. One thing I realize as an adult is that socks make a great gift. As a child, not so much. Terrible gift. I hated them. But as an adult, I love socks. Tracy, am I right? You love socks,
Yep.
right?
I do.
Every woman loves socks. Kevin can't get enough of them. He uses sock puppets. He uses socks for other various purposes. Just put bottles of wine in them or whatever. There's just a lot of important things that you can do with socks. So keep that in mind as you're looking for gifts this time of year. Socks. Guys, socks. And little funny characters on it, too. I think that's a blast. Maybe like it says something like, Ho Alone, and it's got a prostitute inside a house. Trademarked, by the way. You're welcome. And if you do that, you owe us money. But have a great time, guys. Have a great week. And we will see you next week. And if you're feeling thirsty, perhaps you should
have a wicked, vile, and sometimes sinful Rumble Pop.
Bye, guys. Crescendo!